Now live. Welcome everybody to the Heretic King campaign, where tonight's recap will be given to us by Mike Johann of what is it? Johann of Quoth.
Johann of Quo. Yes.
Johann of Quo from Magiscar McNulty,
Yep.
and take it away, Mike.
All right. Last time on the Annals of Levis, the Heretic King, things were not looking good for our party initially, because basically we were faced off with a couple of ogres, and they were giving us a beating. However, the tide suddenly turned um when Professor Wildigos was brought back to health, and then Brynjar, our rugged little guy from the north, was able to just manage to finish off one of them, and Professor Will Diggles decided, hey, let me get in on this action by running away. But first, I'm going to basically cast what I call a little thunderous step, and actually killed the ogre. So don't believe that. So yes, David and Goliath stuff is very real in D2. So conscious of the fact that the ogre, but before the ogres were slain, they did manage to sound a trumpet alarm on their little horns, meaning that, we better get out of here because there may be some reinforcements coming. So, but Morgan, being Morgan, decided went, hey, there's some treasure over there in that little cave. So Morgan and Brightjar decided, let's go get some loot, and which they did. While the rest of the party was attempting to try to herd all the giant children back into the portal like a bunch of cats, and which we more or less succeeded. And and but while we were doing that, one of the giant kids suddenly got all suddenly basically got started sounding a little bit different, because he started talking as if he were one of the Doom Lords and said, "Don't worry, we will find you." Not creepy at all, but there you go. So basically, so the kids were basically through court, and of course this is according to Rick's wonderful notes, through bribery, deceit, and compassion, and with some you know brawny lifting. We managed to get all the children into the portal. Um, that's the good news. But now the party is back in the desert. Is back in the desert, and so now we got to take all these giant kids home, and that's where we are currently starting.
Does anybody want to add anything? Going
No,
once,
I'll
going
just say Mike
twice.
did a great job.
All
Thank
right.
you.
The pain.
So, at the end of last episode, we did describe how, or last session, we did describe how you guys got out of the portal on the other side from where you came in at the oasis. So we will.
Now, while we transition scenes, I do have one more thing to add. Fucking Brynjar got 3 critical hits out of 10 attacks.
Yeah,
Look, I say,
Brynjar kind of went
the dice gods favored me.
It,
It's
bananas.
no freaking doubt. I counted him up. I'm like, he got 3 crits, 2 of those being back to back.
Listen. Now you see why people start off as battle masters. I mean, most campaigns will fizzle out before the battle master comes online. But when the battle master does come online,
It's crazy. He had as many crits as I think Morgan had attacks total.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking wild.
Well, that's our Brynjar.
Yep.
He's so good.
All right, so you are out at the entrance to this oasis where you came in. You have made your way out of the pool. You're surrounded by at least 13 confused desert giant children, who I'm not putting on the map just because I don't want it to deal with all that, who have legitimate questions as they look out at the hacked body of a massive hydra just feet from the shoreline.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. Just
Morgan-
realized that I don't have a hit point maximum on my sheet for some reason.
Hmm.
Let me look at your character sheet real quick.
Pretty sure I had that in there, so I don't know where it went.
Huh. Yeah, it was like 100 and something. But I don't remember what now. Hang on a second. Let me, we all know that won't work because your token is hardwired to your character sheet. We're just going to say you have 108.
Did you take the average or did you roll for your health?
I took the average.
Oh, then you should
Well,
just be able to
that should be-
calculate it. Yeah, we
yeah.
haven't leveled up.
That sounds like math.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
good. We're just going to say you had 108.
All right, Morgan will shout out to the giant kids and be like, "Oi, we need a head count. Make sure everyone's here." He'll talk to the boy giant and the girl giant. They talked to the two last ones to go through, and Morgan will tell them, "We need you to try and keep these, keep the group together. You look after the boys. You look after the girls. Anyone goes missing, anything happens, you let one of us know. Yeah."
And yeah, they kind of nod and they start looking after the others, trying to get the paste eaters of the group and the ones who are prone to crying, in line with what's going on, and trying to kind of be role models for how they should be acting.
Well, I will talk to them as well, and I'll be like, let's try all of you holding hands.
Give me a persuasion check, Pyre.
Okay.
To set a good example, Morgan will hold Johan's hand since he's closest.
And Johan would go, well, not unusual because hey, this is hey, it's Magic Girl. All right.
24. Yeah. So you kind of talk him into to holding hands, and they kind of form a line.
They go single file through
And
the sand to hide their numbers.
And Johan will will ask Morgan and Pyre says, "Do you suppose the giant lings are hungry?"
I see where this is going, and I don't like it.
And then so Johan goes to Professor Wilton and says, "Professor of Wiltigals, do you know if giants eat Hydra?" And he points to the carcass of the Hydra that was slain over here. So
Well, do I know if giants eat Hydra?
You hang on a minute. Let me
Can they afford to be picky in the desert?
If we afford to take the time to let them eat.
let me
No. We got
Hydra.
plenty of time. There's no rush to go back.
let me look at oh, where would this be? It's under quick reference. Creature harvesting. All right, so this would be a monstrosity. Give me an Arcana or Nature or Religion check, whichever one you have that
That's
you
for
are
me.
proficient in. Yeah. 29. Okay. So you would know that the giants you spend time with, that they actually consider Hydra kind of a religious delicacy. So the kids could eat it, but it's not ceremonial. It wouldn't be a ceremony kind of a thing. That's how they're used to eating it, and so you don't know if it's like within their cultural norms, or as to whether or not they'll actually do it like they do. It's like it's like trying to get somebody to eat like sacrament bread, when it's not when they're not.
So they'll eat it, but it's like sacrilegious to eat it almost.
Yeah,
When would you willingly eat a wafer?
when you're at mass.
When you're not at mass.
I mean,
You're
yeah,
outside.
I mean,
If it's vanilla, I
Technically-
guess.
I mean, technically, it just all it is would be is just unleavened bread that just hasn't been consecrated.
Well,
So
I
that's
mean, yeah,
but
except if this is
yeah,
like chunks of Hydra.
true. Yeah,
Listen, The
right.
Simpsons didn't
So
invent the
so
term
so
sacrilegious for nothing.
yeah.
So
So
I'll
then
say with a 29, Professor, that you would know that they do eat it religiously. Um, it it is a little outside the norm for them to not eat it during a religious service. But you would think that they wouldn't have much of an issue eating it, but it's got to be prepared. They're not just going to go over there and start eating at it raw off the body. It's going to have to be, charred over a slow
We need
fire.
to start digging a big old fire pit.
Right, right. So they'll eat it, but it has to be prepared. It has to be cooked. So we'll probably have to stay the night at least.
oh, and then Johan will point to Morgan and says, "Perfect, we have a chef." And he goes to Morgan and says, "Morgan, of Limetown, perhaps you can prepare this Hydra feast. And if you, Professor of Will Diggles, you said that this is some kind of ceremonial Hydra ceremonial dish. Since you've hung out with, since you are since at this point you are a giant but name and stature, perhaps you would be do the honors of preparing of doing any kind of ceremonial rites that would that are need to be performed.
Oh, I could certainly try.
Very good, because I think these giantlings will be probably they need to have some. They have probably been malnourished, and they'll probably need food before where the journey goes. So, and since we are probably could use the night's rest, we might as well, you know, get that,
Um,
at least.
quick,
Um,
quick
I think
sanity,
it's like the morning.
quick sanity check. How far away is the giant cave where they stay?
It's going to take y'all probably about another 4 or 5 hours to travel there over land.
Let's
Oh, that's not
let's
long.
What
get
time of
them
day?
home.
Let's get them home.
It's later in the day now, just because of how much adventuring you've done.
I
Hmm.
really don't want to spend the night at the Giants' caves again.
Relax. I'll just tell them you died heroically or something.
So I could use some rest. He looks pretty bad.
Managing a bunch of kids at night is a big deal, is
And we
all.
do not have enough sleeping like bedrolls or anything for these children. We need to
Yes,
go
they
back.
are rather spoiled with their sleeping, yes.
I think it's probably best we start moving quick. However,
Oh,
yes.
God.
there's a couple things. Now that we're not in such a big rush, I want to head back through actually, real quick to El Berektha. I want a sample of that crystal they were having these kids mine, and I want to take a look at that war horn they used to alert the Dune Lords. So if you guys get the kids ready to travel, I can run back real quick, and if I die, go on without me. Sound like a plan?
Sounds like you're trying to cop
Perhaps,
out. We're
perhaps
too
Morgan
in
of
depth
Lime,
into you dying now.
perhaps Morgan of Limetown, or at least one of us should accompany you on this quest. Um,
I can go
at-
with them.
That seems fine.
Got Brynjar with me. I mean, we all know does a
We
lot
are
of
more in
fighting for the
danger than him.
As soon as Brynjar's gone, this Hydra's about to come back to life. All right.
group. Yeah.
So Brynjar and Morgan dive back into the pool,
Yes.
and
This is a wonderful.
the rest of you are going to help dig a pit for this Hydra carcass.
I suppose
Um,
so. If the
I
giants
think
are
we're
going
I
to eat
think
it,
we're just holding off for a moment, and then we're going to try and get them home.
Yeah, we're not doing the.
A long march, so we're not hanging out for very long. We're keeping all the kids nearby. I will do some little party tricks with Tart and see if they can keep his attention as he's like kind of whirling around like a little dragon shooting
It's like
fire.
a short rest while we're waiting.
Yeah, you can take a short rest if you'd like to, while Taj does the circus sideshow with Turret. Taj, while you're doing this show, you will not get a short rest.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have anything that'll benefit from a short rest anyway, so we're good. Thanks for
Okay.
the heal again.
All right. So,
Thanks for the short rest. Thanks for the heal earlier.
Morgan and Brynjar,
That's
Yeah.
you come back out the other side of that portal, back into that pool. What would you like to do? You see the same steps leading up.
all right. I think we should be quick. Stay by the entrance. Give me a shout if you hear something bad, or if they send
Okey-dokey.
someone through and there's trouble on the other side. And then
So
Morgan will.
Bernier's gonna just stay by the pool.
Yep.
But where he can keep an eye on Morgan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figure if you just like on the cliff by the steps, Morgan's just going to jump down to where the ogre bodies were.
Yeah.
All right.
And I want to look at the war horn and some of the crystals that were being mined.
So Morgan, you examine the war horn first because you see it on the ground next to the first dead ogre. It appears to be a large ram's horn. Doesn't really strike you as anything enchanted or magical looking. Just seems to be a giant war horn.
Oh, try and take it anyway.
All right, yeah, you can take it. It weighs it itself just weighs 60 pounds.
Oh. I will slowly carry it then. And then I'll try to see if I can find a piece of crystal that they were mining.
Give me an investigation check.
Hiya! 16.
You do notice a few of those crystals, 3 to be exact. 2 of them about the size of your palm, and the third one about half that size. You do find some on the ground nearby where the children were mining it.
Neat. Alright, not wanting to take up a risk, being discovered by enemies out here, Morgan will spider climb back up and he'll show Brynjar.
I'm going to need an athletics check because you're trying to spider climb up with a 60-pound war horn.
Watch this. 6.
So you fall down the side of the cliff. You scramble down the side. You kind of bounce your way down that 20 feet. You were almost at the top. Brynjar, he was close enough to the top that you hear him kaboom, 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 crashing his way down.
Bernir will go over to the edge and check on him. Good.
You see
Yeah,
him.
that was a third ogre. I killed him. It's fine.
You see him sprawled out on the ground with that war horn that the ogres were using. It looks like he was trying to carry that up himself and maybe bit off a bit more than he could chew.
Bernir will go down and help.
Pointing and laughing is a free action, too.
Pointing and laughing while I do it then. Absolutely.
All right.
Okay, Morgan has no pride.
Silly small human.
Shameless.
So, Brynjar, give me an athletics check as you try to help Morgan and this Morgan up, as well as try to help Morgan with the horn. Oh my God!
You just carry both of us up.
I just put him over my shoulders and run up it.
I bet
So,
he just leaps like the Hulk. He just jumps straight up onto the edge.
so Brynjar tucks the war horn under one arm, and then tucks Morgan under the other arm, and then just kind of jumps 5 feet, per vertically, like each jump, and scales it like a mountain goat. And then you reach the top. What do you do at the top, Brynjar?
Throw Morgan back down.
Set Morgan down, pat him on top of the head, hand him his horn, then head down to the pool.
All right. So you guys go back through the portal. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's all I wanted to see.
All right. So the rest of you, Morgan and Brynjar are gone maybe about 15, 20 minutes. Taj, give me a performance check.
I think on a 1, Pyre or Tart explodes, killing 2 or 3 children.
Oh gosh.
He explodes away from the place, killing.
So Turret was designed to do a lot of things. Entertaining children wasn't one of them.
They're not used.
Some of the children begin to cry. A few of them begin to, talk about how they have to go to the bathroom. A couple of them, talk about how much they miss their
Question.
parents.
question for the DM. Telling a story is also would be considered a performance check.
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause I don't know if Johan wants to tell a story about a Magiskari and the Ledge of.
Let me tell
Fable,
you of my
and
last
have
family reunion and the erotic adventures therein.
The
and have
return
Pyre
of Crazy
translate.
Uncle Bonaire.
Yeah.
This
I
could
don't know
only
if
go
that will
badly.
work. It's like
They're children,
because
Johan.
okay, yes. They wouldn't understand it anyway because I have to have somebody translate it in Giant. So yeah,
It would be hilarious to make Pyre do it.
yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking about doing. So I don't know unless Pyre's down for it, we can see what happens.
Yeah, Pyre. You can have Pyre.
Yes.
Translate the story that you're telling, and then you can make a performance check, not with advantage, but you can make a performance check.
No.
But you're also going to have to explain the story to the rest of us. I'm going to need to hear this Magiskaran story that's safe for kids.
Oh, this isn't go bad.
And if it's safe for kids.
Okay. So basically, so long ago in the faraway land known as Magiskar, before the Great War occurred, there was a young lad who decided to who was tasked to who fell in love with one of the Magiskari noble's daughter, but of course, being of lowly stock, he needed to prove himself. So, in order to do so, he decided, I am going to go and steal the treasure of steal a dragon's treasure. Of course, the dragon in question happens to be one of the most ancient red dragons ever in the entire land. Spoiler alert: was also one of the patrons for a certain character in that one shot I made, but that's neither here or there. So the young lad decided to venture deep into the mountains. It took him 3 agonizing days to try to find the entrance of this cave, and but then he finally found the tomb of this giant beast. And the beast was and the dragon essentially, when he saw him, he says, "Give me one good reason why I should not eat you." And of course, the lad told of his tale of love and how he was and how he wanted to woo the heart of this young prince.
Well, so far.
This princess from his country, but of course he needed to prove his worth. And so the dragon says, "Well, okay, well."
Mike, you're breaking up. We're only getting like every 10th word, maybe.
Yeah.
Here's a way I can help you, young lad, to help you prove your worth. If you,
Mike, if you've got other windows or if you're streaming something else, you need to probably cut it.
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit.
Because we're not hearing you like at all. Oh my God.
Is
really bad.
I think maybe he's having a hard time hearing us as well. Bit of a delay, I imagine.
Happy to escort you. And so the young lad decided, fair enough.
Oh, this got dark.
Mighty ancient dragon came to the lands of, well, it started going, of course, into the biggest rampage of all. And so the part we should.
I'm just imagining that the words that we can't hear.
All right.
She's censoring.
I'm curious what Pyre's translation of this sounds like.
You can show me again.
Oh, can you hear us?
Okay, so I don't know where where the story is, but suffice to say,
Okay,
yeah.
if it helps any, we didn't
I
hear
don't know.
any of
So
the
do you want
story.
me to start from the beginning?
We didn't
We
hear
got broad
it.
strokes.
Like,
Oh.
it was cutting in
We
and
just
out.
got weird.
Wow.
We were trying to stop you.
Okay.
Can you hear us now?
Oh, okay. So let me start from the top again. Okay,
Oh, boy.
try to keep it short. So once upon a time, there was a boy from Madagascar who fell in love with a princess. But since he was so poor and she was wealthy, he figured, he needed to prove himself his worth. So he decided to basically trek across the Magiscarian landscape. And this is, by the way, this is before the Magiscarian War. He goes to search for it, and an ancient red dragon, who, spoiler, was also the patron of a certain character in the one shot we played, but that's it for another time. So he goes. He took 3 days to venture into the mountains to find this dragon, and he finally did. The dragon told him, give me one good reason why I shouldn't eat you right now." And this Magiscarian lad says, "Well, I'm trying to win the heart of my lady love, and I need something to prove my worth." And so the ancient red dragon says, "How about this? Why don't you show me where your village is, and where this Magiscarian princess lives, and then so I can see, um, you know, her, beauty for myself." And so the lad does, and of course, once the dragon arrives, naturally chaos ensues, and of course, and seeing how he was duped, the young lad was able to, and now nothing could kill this dragon, but the young lad was able to kind of, um, flick, basically hurl a bunch of stones at it, and of course the dragon, you know, didn't like being pelted with stones, and so he decided to now, but of course the Magiscarian princess was so impressed by the dragon, she decided to go off with the dragon herself. And some say that some say that the ancestral line of the Magiscarians were descended from this princess and this ancient red dragon to this very day. And that's the end of the story.
Great
So,
Now I have to hear Pyre translate that.
give me a persuasion. No, give me a performance check.
I have several questions.
Okay.
About how well this story, this Magiscarian, hey, our ancestors did it with dragons, goes over with children.
Okay, all right.
Do we have a giant fiction myth that has them fighting against dragons in
23?
I don't know.
With a 23, it is a surprisingly well-told tale. Whether or not that's because Pyre is embellishing it as she goes, we'll never know.
Okay.
Right. Pyre, is that what you're doing? Are you kind of like replacing some of it with stuff that you think won't scare kids to death, or?
Yes.
Or are you respecting Johann's cultural traditions, or how are you playing it?
Mix of the two. If I think something is a little too far, I will tastefully edit it, but mostly it's telling it just as Johann tells.
Probably dragons and them making babies is probably not.
So Johann gets around it. So his mama loved a dragon. Maybe a little too much. And you switch it up with dragon sold her some armor. Yeah. All right. Well,
brought down the future residents of Magiscar. So they're all delivered from dragons.
They gifted a baby to the.
Gifted a baby to.
There you go.
To the princess, and that's how Magiscar.
That's safe.
Prospered.
Safe for work, Magiscar.
And so a kid walks up to Professor Will Diggles.
Oh boy.
And he kind of leans over to you, Will Diggles, and he says, "So, if he's telling us that his people are descended from dragons, how come he's not scaly?"
Good question.
Or is he?
Oh, it's very good that you're curious like this.
And he says that he's saying that to you in Giant because he doesn't know. He doesn't. This is not the one that knows Common. Go ahead, Professor.
So, do you know how to read by chance?
And he nods and he's like, I know a little bit of what my elders taught me.
Oh, perfect. It should be in a book somewhere to explain. It's a recessive gene. It's really hard to explain in children's terms. Can somebody, Pyre?
Yeah, I will be like, it's like how your mom has some features and your dad has other features, and you have one or the other. The one you have is the more dominant one, and the one you don't have is the more, as professionally called, recessive, or a little bit weaker one. So for Magiskar, the scaly bits, is the recessive gene. Do you get it?
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage because you're trying to describe science that really your character wouldn't even understand to
Yeah.
a giant child.
What a pass from Will Diggle there. It's like, hey, please explain Mendel's theory of recessive and dominant genetic traits to this child.
I know, recessive and dominant.
Can we get a square out there? Can we get a Punnett square?
And it's persuasion.
And here to explain quantum physics and Twizzlers is
Oh,
Pyre.
but she nails it.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, Pyre, you seem to make it make sense to this kid. And he thinks for a moment and then he kind of shrugs and is like, yeah, okay, makes sense.
One of
That giant's gonna grow up to become like a the world's first giant geneticist.
The reason why I know it probably is because one of my masters was a scientist.
There you go.
So I heard it in passing.
Neat.
So it's not, I don't know it, but it's there.
And you probably have an idea of that because with Genasi and Jin and all that, you probably think like, that was a human and a Jin made a Genasi. Very interesting. Seems you don't
Professor
get that stuff.
Wildigal's just see, exactly like I was trying to say.
Now I don't
It's
know.
good that you asked the question.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, the giant kid just kind of nods and gives a thumbs up, and he's like, "Glad I could help."
He says what?
He's glad he could help.
You said
Oh.
you told him thank you for asking the question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Professor Instincts kicking in.
One of the kids starts crying and says she wants to go home now.
All right, everyone's together, and I'm like, let's go. The children need their parents.
Wait, do we have Morgan and Brittany back?
Yes.
Yes, Morgan.
They've been back.
Okay.
Yeah, Morgan.
Hey
And
guys, I'm glad I didn't miss anything really cool.
Yeah, Morgan and Brynjar, you've been back long enough to hear Johan explain the Magiskar and birds and bees to the kids.
Yeah.
Interesting
Morgan will say
story.
to Johan, that's a really fucked up story to tell kids, man. It was really graphic.
That is how why should not? That's how our children need to learn where they came from and why they have such, a mighty lineage. Granted, of course, our dragon traits have basically dwindled away over the centuries. So, but occasionally we still have. There is the occasional characteristic that appears from time to time. Such as eye color, sometimes a little more pointed teeth, usually sometimes with breath that not fiery, but it's certainly and heat things.
Taj,
a
it
little
sounds
bit.
to you like if they're related to any dragons, it's probably blue dragons.
Mm.
Nod, nod, wink, wink.
I start polishing my gun.
I will turn to Morgan and said, I PG'd that conversation.
Yeah, I'm honestly shocked at both of you. I'm sorry I missed the first half of that, but oi, Taj, check this out, and he'll hand him some of the crystals. What do you think they're
Hey,
doing
there
with
we
this stuff?
go. I kind of raise it up as taking a look at it. Like there's magic ingrained in the ore. That is really interesting. I would love to spend a couple months looking at this stuff, but
Well, you have
for
until
now,
we finish walking back to the halls of the giants. So
Yes, let's go back to the Giants, where the
Well,
children
I mean,
and someone is getting dropped off.
yeah.
well, hold on a minute. We, I wouldn't
Yes,
say dropped
well,
off. Like we'll have to think of
let's-
something.
let's start walking and let's workshop that right now.
yeah,
Come
we'll
on.
talk about it on the way.
Yeah. Let's rally the children. Everyone hold hands. Do the thing.
In Giant, I'm going to ask the children if any of them understand our language.
There was a couple that did. There were a
Fuck.
couple that did understand common.
Keep them at the front. We'll be in the back.
Yep. What? You two scout on ahead.
I'm gonna lead.
Sending
I'm
the
gonna
children
lead,
to scout
I'll have
ahead.
Two human-speaking ones right behind me.
Okay.
Mhm.
There you go. That's fine. So the rest of us will be in the back.
Okay,
And there's
so
40 kids, so that's a distance away. We can whisper.
13.
we might have to kill all of them. You know that, right?
Killing.
Ex- Why do you draw that conclusion? Explain your reasoning in detail.
I am not staying with the Giants any longer.
Okay. Well, we'll.
And how does that connect to you murdering 13 children? Connect the dots for me,
No,
Professor.
not the
I'm a bit
not
slow.
the children. I mean, their parents. And then, of course, we can't
That's
leave
better.
them there.
Why don't you offer yourself to go get some riches to give to them?
Some what?
Riches.
I thought you said witches.
Maybe they want those too. I don't know. But yeah. Say like, oh, these enemies of these enemies of your home have threatened you greatly. Let me bring I don't know, bring respect to your house and all that such. by
What if
killing.
instead this group presents itself as being like my captor, and you say I am your slave now?
I mean, yeah, I can work with that. I convince Karambe that our price for helping him out is you. You're useful to us, and that's pretty true. I think I can convince him. If that's what you want, Professor.
Well, I certainly don't want to stay there.
I wanna go.
All the same, you've seen the kind of trouble we get into. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe the
okay,
Giants
well, I
isn't
mean-
ideal, but it's safe.
I can offer you alternative employment as my, manual labor for my expedition.
Don't plan to do much expediting. Well, I meant what I said when we're going to kill the rest of the Dune Lords. Or they're going to come to us, which apparently convenient.
Oh, I mean, how hard could that be?
Well, I like your optimism. I'll do it. You convinced me, Professor. Anyone object?
Now, I will say, I will be much more useful in that endeavor if I have some components, which will be costly. So perhaps
Well-
downplay my value to the giant. Maybe get a little something.
Downplay your value, but still demand you come with us. I'll see what I can do.
Right,
But given
of
the
course,
option,
don't harm
if
my
I have to choose
reputation.
between a hefty reward and you,
We could say that he's also ill, and that he's that he's because he's old and feeble, and therefore does not have long left in this world, and he wants to spend the rest of his last sunset days in the company of smaller folk.
surprisingly dark, but we could go that angle as well.
that's fair. You don't want him to be a burden. They just recovered finally. They're able to, be their own people and all that. No need to take care of a dying gnome.
Well, I'm confident in my negotiation skills at any rate. I think we can. If that's what you want, Professor, I think I can convince them to let you come with us.
I want to not be with them any longer.
I don't know, man. You
It's
might
not
find
like
you
I
missed it
voluntarily went there.
once you have a undead dragon breathing down your neck. Once a Naga Lich is hurling spells at you. But anyway, like I said, I'm convinced. If that's what you want, I'll speak to Karambe.
Yes, please.
Did you just call him Karambe instead of Karambe?
Karambe,
did.
yeah.
Karambe? God damn
Hi,
it.
Karambe.
Caramba.
Also, Professor, you kind of got hammered while we were in that last fight.
Well,
I've got.
I think I held my own. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you do, but all the same, I find myself in a position of having more magical items than I can really use right now. So, I
Are
can
you
loan you
asking
one.
me to carry your things?
No, I'm saying that I have items that might help you not die. If you're gonna let me finish. Here, he will pull out his amulet of health and his ring of protection, and I'll be like, I don't need both of these. You have a preference?
I don't know what they do.
This one makes you hale and hearty, increases your constitution. This one provides a little bit of all-around protection, gives you +1 AC and +1 to all saving throws.
And what kind of wizard were you again?
Conjuration.
Oh, well, here. I got something for you too.
I have a 16 Constitution, so.
This will bring it up to 19.
I'm sorry, what?
It's basically this magic item says if your constitution is less than 19, it becomes 19.
Oh, wow.
It's useful. Like I'm getting like 20 health off of this, and you will probably get about the same.
Whatever.
Your choice.
Here.
Probably the AC one, actually.
All right, Morgan will take off his ring of protection and hand it to the professor.
You might be able to make the use of this one better. I got this a while back, and I've not really felt the right time to use it.
Here, walk over and hand it to him.
I'm gonna hand him the blue sapphire elemental gem.
All right, it's not a competition, Taj.
I am not using it. Honestly, I was just kind of looking at my inventory, and I was like, oh yeah, I have that. Well, like, if I'm forgetting it's there, then it's better off hand it to someone who will remember it. Look, I got all these magic
Fine
items.
piece.
I got this hat. I got my staff. I got this. I got my underbarrel wand. It's very complicated. I can't even think of like, oh yeah, I also have a rock to throw at people.
All right, so yeah, you've got a little more stuff to keep yourself safe. If you run off and steal it from us, I will hunt you down and steal your soul.
He'll do that.
Oh.
He stole my soul
Okay.
for like a little bit.
You got better.
Yes, I did. Because I agreed to stay. Run. Run while you can.
After he steals you, I'll bring you back to life. So that he can, after he kills you, I'll bring you back to life so he can kill you again.
So,
Damn, that's really dark, Fire.
So, while you
Really
guys
just like staring. Like, what?
while you guys have been traveling north, trying to get these desert giant children home, hours pass. Just because I don't want to hear how more depraved this could get, and you find yourself back in the hall now of Karambe.
Oh, boy.
You get in.
Why am I doing up
um,
at the front? I will be at the back. Thank you very much.
Okay, who wants to? We'll put Morgan up there. Okay.
Okay, fine. If I must.
All right. So, yeah, the children run in, and you hear merriment ringing through the halls as the parents break off into family units and reunite with their children. At the other end of the chamber, you see the familiar forms of Karambe and his harem,
His harem bay.
and his harem of bays.
Hey.
and he is. You see him at the other end of the chamber, looking very pleased and beckoning you with warm welcome to approach him at the end of the hall.
Well, let's not keep him waiting. He's our generous host. We've brought him back all his kids. Some of them are probably his.
All right, Taj, are you and Turret joining the others, or are you hanging back?
Yeah, I'm moseying on in. Just fiddling with some of my stuff. My wand
Professor
fell off and I
Wildiggle, you're
almost
just hiding.
Taj walks through the hall
He's hiding
fiddling.
behind a pillar.
I'm restrapping my wand of fireballs back to my staff. It fell off and I was worried I was gonna fire off a fireball. Sorry.
All right, so Wildiggles, are you joining the others, or are you hiding?
I'm here. I'm just just gonna clear my throat a minute.
All right. So Karambe looks down at you all and says, as he sits on his throne, he looks very pleased and says, I must admit, I did not think that you would make it back.
Well, we were only gone about a day. I admit we're a little behind schedule, but
We-
complications arise.
We are glad to see you alive, and even more glad to see that you have returned our most valuable treasure to us.
Well, you can see I'm a man of my word. I regret that we weren't able to bring all of them home. Unfortunately, a few of them did perish.
And he nods, and he looks very very solemn for a moment, and he says, "Still, though, this is most of them, and for that you have our gratitude."
Well, like I said, we do plan to hunt down the Doom Lords. The Dune Lords, I should say, not Doom Lords. That'd be much cooler. But we're as good as our word.
You will find me a generous host. And he claps his hands, and two of the harem girls bring out large chests. Actual chests, not their chests, but actual
Woo!
Tragic.
Right, yeah.
actual large metal chests. And they set them on the floor. And then Karim Bey looks around and he goes, I unfortunately do not see the Noman. And he looks around, is he dead?
No, he's unfortunately he's a bit shy. He wanted to downplay his part in our success. But truth be told, I don't think any of us would be standing here without him. He's proven quite invaluable to our efforts. As a matter of fact, I was wondering if you would give him leave to continue to help us hunt down the Dune Lords with his help.
Karim Bey looks dubious. And he says, while I understand your desire to have the Noman travel with you, he has been quite a boon to me and my people. Morgan, give me a persuasion check.
Gotcha.
Oh, Lord.
I'll use a luck point so I have advantage. I think he's more. I think the professor's worth it, and it would be very funny if I just said, "Okay, take him back. We're leaving."
Okay.
I was tempted. That is a 10, and I rolled 2 10s. That's 23.
All right. So, he thinks for a moment, and then he was like, very well, you may keep the Noman then. We will miss him here. And he looks over at the girls in the harem who look very sad. And as you would gather, some of them were using Wildiggles probably as a personal massage device.
Oh dear.
And
I think part of the reason he's so shy is it truly turns his heart to have to be away from you all. But
There are
I
volunteers as tribute for the evening.
I'm sure he simply can't face a goodbye, but he knows our mission to destroy the Dune Lords is extremely important.
Sorry, I was making water. That's all. Yes. Oh, I would hate to leave your presence, but they need me. You see.
They're calling.
Yes, I understand. It is unfortunate that we must part ways, but I have, and he looks at the chest because he notices that no one has gone over to examine the chests. My
Well, they don't want
friends,
to be rude.
Oh,
do you not wish to partake of your reward?
Well,
We just didn't want to be rude. But
yeah,
yes,
we're not
absolutely.
sure what the customs are here, giant wise, but if it doesn't offend your culture, I think we will happily use these funds to fund our campaign. Use these treasures, I should say, to fund our campaign against the Dune Lords.
It will be a great expedition.
I know Brynjar likes to carry heavy things if they're full of treasure, so I'll step aside.
Absolutely. Brynjar will start opening the chests and
All right,
taking a look at their haul.
let me make sure I've done this math correctly. Give me just a moment.
Make sure the math is mathing.
Yeah.
Yes, he needs to know how many delayed blast fireballs are inside the chest.
So, on this chest on the left, there appear to be at least 1,800 pieces of platinum,
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
mm-hmm.
which would break down to about 600, or not 600, 300,
18,000 gold.
300 plat for each of you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and distribute that.
So that'd be the equivalent of about 3,000 gold.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
And then, in the other chest, you see. Hang on here just a second.
I like to imagine Legend of Zelda chest opening noise. Da-na-na-na.
I wish I had a chest opening noise. Hang on just a second here. Let me. So in the other chest, you open it up and you see 6 orbs. They are violet. They have energy swirling around them. And they look like you could hold, like one of them would fill your hand.
Brynjar grabs one. Hey, Tosh, check this out. He kind of.
Bam! As you grab one, Brynjar,
Oh, shit.
Oh, duh.
you have 4 options.
Okay.
You can boost any stat
Ooh.
+2 and the max for that stat by 2. You cannot raise a stat over 25. You can gain a feat. You may make any first level non-combat spell an at-will spell with my discretion and not available for multi-class options. Sorry, Brynjar.
That's okay.
Or you can increase any magic +1 weapon, melee or range, to a +2 magic weapon, or a +2 magic weapon to a +3.
Cool.
You must make that choice immediately.
Oh, balls. I don't.
30 seconds on the clock. Let's go.
I wouldn't even know what feat to go with. So
Well, you can just say that you want to pick a feat, and then you can figure out which feat you want. But you have to figure out which of these options you want.
Oh, it's one. Okay, got it. I got excited.
It's one of the one of those 4. Yeah.
Oh.
We can just feed all of them to Brynjar, just make them unstoppable.
Oh my god.
Ultra Instinct Brynjar unlocked.
I think a feat would be best, so I'm gonna go with a feat, but I don't know what feat.
That's fine.
Trophy.
You, this magic has empowered you, and you're suddenly aware. I like how that sound effect worked out. You're aware that the power that you just absorbed may reveal itself to you later than right now.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the rest of you see Brynjar just reach in, pick one of these swirling orbs up, and then suddenly all of the energy sort of washes over Brynjar's body, and then dissipates, and what's left of the orb is just a kind of a smoking, charred husk.
Oh,
Well, you broke
I'm
it,
afraid
Brynjar.
Brynjar is going to die now.
It's
unfortunate.
super
knowing you,
dangerous,
friend.
guys. I think I need to go for the other ones.
Brynjar, give me a deception check.
Sure, why not? This is going to be terrible.
This could be the difference between Ultra Instinct Brynjar.
13.
All right, everyone who is not Brynjar can give me an insight check.
Oh, you'll probably fool Morgan.
Okay.
That's one.
There we go.
All right.
Pyre's
here we
the only
go.
one who's beat me.
It's not-
Yes!
You fooled everyone but Pyre.
Pyre,
19.
Oh,
Johan.
Haha.
Pyre, and Johan. You definitely sense that Brynjar is deceiving you, and that something wondrous comes from this magic, and that Brynjar perhaps is seeking to claim it all.
And Johan
Morgan
will
will
go.
be concerned
perhaps
for Brynjar.
Bryn-
Don't do it,
perhaps-
Brynjar.
Go ahead. What were you
Perhaps-
saying, Johan?
Perhaps Johan will go. Perhaps Brynjar of the North. We should probably see if these spherical objects for ourselves. And Johan will grab one also.
All right,
and see what
immediately
happens.
make the decision.
Oh, that's an easy one. I'm gonna add +2 to my charisma to make it a nice 20. Because why not?
All right, so your charisma improves to a 20, and your charisma max improves to a 22
Holy crap.
instead of a
Ooh,
20.
Nice. Okay. Yep. Okay. There we go. All right. Bam. There we are. So that's going to help me tremendously. with
So
all
you
of
guys
the
watch
other.
as Johan reaches into the chest, and then the exact same thing happens.
See, Johan, maybe it should just be for us. Isn't it much?
Perhaps.
We could rule this
Let's not get. I should not get carried away.
I will roll my eyes a little and say, we're a party. We should share things. And I'll grab one.
All right, and so you pick one up. You feel the magic enter your body immediately. Make your choice.
A feat.
A feat. All right, you will pick a feat later. Very good. You guys watch as Pyre picks up one of the orbs, and the same exact thing happens. The magic seems to wash over her body, leaving behind an inert stone, giving off a faint sulfurous smell in her hand.
Brynjar will go ahead. He'll step away and be like, "No, they are wondrous items.
What? You lied to me, Brynjar.
I did. I was greedy.
feel
I
it.
I
apologize.
trusted you like a brother. You didn't tell anyone that I ate shit back in Elberectha.
I didn't. You are correct. But no, it is a wondrous object. Everybody should partake. Unless you're feeling, charitable, of course.
I have a question for the DM.
Yes.
Can you define at will? What about if it requires components or stuff like that?
So, yeah, if it requires components, you're still going to have to be able to produce the component. But otherwise, like at will, like for example, like if you wanted to take identify, right? Like you could just cast identify without having to expend a spell slot.
Do I still have to prepare?
No, it would be considered always
It's like a
available
cantrip
to.
almost.
Identify is probably not so great because you can do it as a ritual.
I was about to say, I think it's a ritual spell, but there's
Yeah.
a couple good options.
But it's really whatever you want,
Charm person. That'd be a good one.
It just can't be anything that like causes damage or, can like sleep. Sleep is a combat spell, sleep, will actually put up to a certain number of hit points worth of a creature to sleep. So sleep is
Pick
right
fate
now.
water.
Check
Just pick a
your-
new
Here's
ocean here in the
here's
desert.
a question. I don't think I'll pick this, but I'm just getting an idea. Say I take the spell Longstrider. Does that mean that I can just throw it on everybody at any time? So basically, unless we're in specific circumstances, we all have plus 10 speed.
I think that's a concentration spell.
No. Hold on. Nope, not concentration. It just takes a spell.
Interesting.
It's duration for
1 hour.
hour.
So
No,
unless
because
you're, like,
no, because that's cheesy. Because you're just gonna be,
Yeah,
I touch us all repeatedly, and we crossed the desert in 5 seconds. No, we're not.
I know, I know. That I'm just asking, just
Yeah.
so I can make an informed decision when I touch the Simian artifact.
Yeah, no, your GM's discretion will definitely say, fuck a bunch of that.
Good,
Don't,
good.
don't take advantage of his generosity.
Right.
Uh huh. All right, I'm gonna touch it. Give me that feat.
All right, so Taj, you pick one up. You can pick
Boy.
a feat later. Same thing happens. You guys watch as the magic washes over Taj's body.
Wildigos watches carefully and then bends down and inspects the orb like really closely.
If you want to,
And-
Professor Will Diggles, you can make an Arcana check.
Oh, sure. Why not?
So, you have come across tales of these items before. They are thought to be left over from the Yuan-Ti remnant that escaped the Vorsimian cataclysm. And instead of going west towards the Bloodletter Sea and Luteska, um, these orbs came from a group that went east over to Jujunimbi and over to the eastern continent. And they had different orbs of different sizes. They had large ones like are found in the west, but they also made smaller ones that did not contain as much magic, but could still do wondrous things. You would guess that this is that these orbs are part of that group.
Oh, he definitely starts lecturing everybody about it, but while he's lecturing, he kind of accidentally touches one.
So as you touch one, immediately make your choice.
Like he goes to hold it up as an example, like a professor would, and then accidentally uses it. I'll do the spell. Do I need to choose the spell right away?
No, you can think because, and you can like send me like a message, this week or whatever, and be like, "Hey, can I use this spell?" And then I'll be like, "No, that's broken as fuck. Pick another one." Or I'll be like, "Yeah, that's cool."
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of narrowing it down, but
Okay.
I'll probably DM you tonight.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Will Diggle picks up his orb. Who's left? I think Morgan.
Just Morgan.
Morgan, you reach down to pick up one of the artifacts, and nothing happens.
Well, convenient.
No, I'm kidding.
Ah,
So you
Well-
you pick up the artifact.
Well, speaking of that, Morgan will
that
actually.
one was a dud. Sorry.
Yep, it's all right. Morgan actually will not pick it up right away. He will pull a piece of cloth out of his bag and try to wrap it up so he doesn't touch it. And he will look up at Karambe and say, "These are no ordinary magical trinkets."
And he says, "No, the snake men that we took them from put up quite a fight guarding their clutch young, but we crushed their eggs all the same."
Quite
I don't
brutal.
know what to say.
Oh,
I know we've done a lot for you, but this is something else. And Morgan will actually, he'll put it away. He won't use it.
We believe that Peleos Kasan would look unfavorably were we to use these for our benefit. Just because it comes from a degenerate snake god.
Well, Can't argue with that logic.
But others may partake freely of the degenerate magic therein.
I've been known to
Oh,
partake of
it's,
degenerate magic from time to time.
Oh, yes.
Well, I don't want to, be unkind, but I think we'd best be on our way.
Yes, we must be moving along.
The Dune Lords are no doubt looking for us, and we don't want to bring them back here to you.
So, Taj, give me a Arcana check as well.
Got it. These are quite the cool heckin' things.
Taj, you believe that with the magic of one of these orbs, and you know that Morgan, for example, has taken one and not used it. You believe that you could use the magic in this orb to teleport you all back to oh god, why can I not remember the name of that city now?
Zambar?
Zambar. Yeah, it says back to Zambar.
It would expend the power in the item though.
Oh
right?
yeah, it would totally use all the magic therein.
Okay. You sure you want to use that?
You don't want to use that.
Well, I've got an idea for what I want to use it for, but I'd like to talk to all of you about it first.
It sounds like a good plan to me. There's a lot of magic in that thing. I might be able to swing a teleportation spell with it. Get
Well,
to
that's
Zambar
one
fast.
possible use for it.
Well, I'd love to hear the next one. Come on, let's get out of here.
Yeah, it was great meeting you all again.
And Karambe waves goodbye, farewell to all of you, and his harem waves goodbye to Professor Will Diggles.
Will
The
Diggles
lawyer will
does
shout
not
back, if he
regret-
lives, we'll send him back.
Nope.
All right, so you exit out of the hall, down the longer hallway, and then out into the brightness of day, out in the Heretic Valley. Where did I put that? There we go. And you walk past the same pair of wyverns that you walked by earlier. So you guys are right here.
Neat.
Will Diggles just sort of stretches, pops his back a little bit, smiles.
Yeah, how's it feel to be a free gnome?
Ah, it's delightful. I propose that we go straight to the pyramid.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I think we should stop back in Zambar first. We got a
rest.
Yes,
friend
yes,
of a
yes,
friend
And
waiting there.
provisions.
Components, of course.
But,
We're
once we get a little bit of
Sure.
distance, there's something I want to talk to. I want to broach to the group.
So
Here.
it's everyone make either history or survival checks. Everyone that wants to. You don't have to.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Those who forget their
Sure,
history.
we go ahead.
I realize some of you don't give a crap, but those of you that do can
Well,
make
we
survival
can-
or nature.
Oh,
If I can bring up my character sheet, I will be happy. Oh wait, I don't have to. I'm just selecting the skills set here. Hold on. If it'll let me. Come on. Come on. Here, let's go. Come on. Where is it? How come it's not working? Let's see. Why is it not loading? Oh. Okay.
I think you need a new hamster for your computer.
Probably so. Maybe.
Johann has forgotten his history, and he's doomed to repeat it.
Okay, so
Yes.
we're just gonna move on. Brynjar, Taj,
Okay.
everyone except Johann, who didn't roll. You would think that you're
Yeah.
at least 80 miles away, over 80 miles away from Zambar, and it will take you traveling across the desert. It's probably going to take you about 6 days.
It's not ideal, but it do be like that.
Not ideal at all.
And as you're standing around outside, you look over at the giant wyverns, and then the gates leading into the desert giant's halls close behind you.
They were nice.
Arguably some of the nicest people we've met out here outside of Zambar.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Hey,
just,
Professor, why didn't you want to stay?
listen, I have things to do here. I can't just stay in a cave. I've got studies to do.
Wait, I mean, it seemed kind of cushy. They took care of you, they pampered you, they fed you.
You could probably study in a cave. Actually, they probably would have helped you if you asked.
No,
I imagine the giants, their history isn't really well documented, I imagine.
To really want, like, really pamper you. Like, they put you in, like, their shirts.
Reminds me of a cat. Which
Oh,
probably gets
exactly.
old pretty quickly.
Yeah, being under someone else's
They're not big
thumb
on
is no
digging
fun.
either, and I really needed someone to, help dig the ruins and all that.
Hmm.
But I've got
I
you
mean-
guys now.
Well,
Don't think
I don't
we're
really
big
think
on
we're big on
digging
digging
unless
either,
we're
but
attacking something.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
all right. Well, I know I've been a little cagey about it for a minute, but I got something I want to talk to you guys about.
Let's hear it.
What's on your mind?
My end game, I mean, I know this probably isn't going to be a shock to some of you, but I've not really been upfront about some of my motivations. It's not a surprise
Well,
to you
You
all.
lied to me.
I know.
Oh, wow.
It hurt me to lie to you most of all, Brynjar.
Wow, that sounds like something you would never do.
All right, I mean, you can put the sarcasm aside. But listen, and Morgan will pull out some of the notes from Hassan Kazi. He'll pull out the book he got from Amani, and he'll say, "I want to kill the Dune Lords,
Well, yeah,
but I want to
well,
finish what they started."
What?
Listen, this thing, and he'll hold up the Vorsemian artifact, has a lot of power, but I'm aiming higher. Their goal was to use artifacts like this to break into the tomb of Chorus and steal his power for themselves. That's my end game. That's what I want.
Chorus's
wow.
power, or to bring Chorus?
No, I don't really care about Chorus, honestly. He's just another obstacle. But I want that power.
What are you gonna do with it?
Whatever I want, really. I'm tired of being out here playing games with the gods, all right? I'm tired of us running around because of the moon god or the sun god or the desert god or the old gods. There's real power on the table here.
To use the orb.
Well, maybe not. I doubt this will be enough. We know the Dune Lords have more. And I know, Tajwala, you're the best artificer within 1,000 miles of here. I'd bet my life on that. If anyone could figure out how to fix this to do what they were trying to do, it's you. We kill them, I steal their souls, and I make them spill their secrets. We figure out what they were going to do and how they were going to do it.
The issue I see first off is we have been charged to do this because the gods felt threatened by someone getting Chorus's power. And they continue to be threatened, and we continue to have fortune and benefit us progressing this.
Some of us, maybe.
Some of us, yeah, I'll admit that.
Some of us more than others.
But what's to stop them from just getting some more people and going after you?
What's
What's to
stopping them
stop
from
you
doing that
get-
now?
Hmm?
Listen, this is the God's mess from the beginning. Back way in the time of Chorus II, he was the living avatar of the sun god, his wife living avatar of the moon goddess. And when their daughter died, did the gods help them out? No. They failed them. And then he turned to a darker god, Nyarlathotep. And that started this whole train of events. And even last year, when the giant squid-faced god punched a hole in the sky and invaded the world, did the gods rally together and say, hey, we're going to protect you guys. This is our world too? No. It was ordinary people like us doing their dirty work again, and I'm sick of it. I'm done playing their game. I want a seat at the table.
That is definitely a
A lot to chew on.
Yeah, Morgan has a bit of a manic look in his eyes.
so first off, this is technically possible. But like that whatever you want, man, that's gonna bite you eventually. There are about 7,000 stories in Alkaraki folklore talking about getting ultimate power and it biting you in the end.
Well, and everyone else around the person.
And
I'm
everyone
willing
else-
to take this onto myself. You guys don't have to be a part of this if you don't want to.
If we
Is
don't
it something
stop-
that can be distributed that we could share?
Ideally,
I-
but
Or do we have to trust that you are going to not, I don't know,
If you-
destroy
if
the
you-
planet or something?
if he gets
Destroying
his
the planet
power, he probably
seems-
gets a target on his back. You probably will never get to be a regular person after.
listen, you know me. If we can cut up this power into 6 even slices like a nice birthday cake, you know I'm more than happy to do that. But that's probably not the world we live in. If it comes down to it, I want to be the one to take the risk. I'm the one who can steal souls. I'm the one who's cooking up this scheme. I'm the one who's willing to trample on everything good and holy and taboo and be pretty much okay with that. Plus, I'm a career criminal. Stealing's what I do. And stealing this power from right under the nose of the gods, that sounds like a heist of a lifetime.
What would your girl think about this? Your patron.
I wouldn't be surprised if we do this and we show up at Chorus's tomb if she's there to stop me.
With
And we
all
would be
this,
going in the tomb?
Oh yeah,
There's-
we have the
there-
keys. I don't know if we've brought you up to speed on this, but the reason the Dune Lords haven't done this plan yet is because they need to gather enough Vorsemine artifacts to break into Chorus's tomb. But we have the keys.
yeah.
We sorry.
To put some perspective in here. Say we go and defeat the Dune Lords, then we go and spread the Versamine artifacts around, throughout, yada yada, throughout the world. Say we're going up into the icy north, and we're digging digging a tunnel and throwing one down there. Then in 500 years, we're doing this all again.
Exactly. We're going to need to use them for something. We can't just leave them lying around. And if we
we're
use them
gonna
for
be
this,
we're gonna have to hope for other people.
listen, the Dune Lords, we know they have their hands on some Vorsemine artifacts. We know this is what they're planning anyway. If we fight them, kill them, stop them, odds are they're going to have more of these. Bigger, more powerful ones, maybe. Or ones that are partially ready for what they're trying to do. All we have to do is swoop in, beat them, and then finish what they started. And I know it's crazy. I know. This isn't news to me. I know that this year has been hard for me, this last year. I've lost everything, and most days I'm barely keeping it together. But I stopped wondering why I survived when everyone I cared about died. for this chance.
I'll help you if, and you gotta promise me here. You gotta promise me on your good eye that if push comes to shove, if the forces at work are fighting against us, and you're not sure you're gonna be able to harness that power, you need to expend it and make sure that it's gone. And this is not a route people can take from here on out. If you're going for this and solving the problem, we're solving the problem permanently.
There's a
'Cause
non-zero chance we do this and I instantly die, and I'm willing to accept that risk.
if you take the power with you, then we're good. Then Levis gets to live, and we don't have to keep doing this round robin nonsense every 500 years. Are you willing to go? Are you willing for that to be your sacrifice?
You gotta make a big risk to get a big reward. I'm willing to make that gamble. I promise. If it looks like we're not going to win, or if the cost is going to be too great, I'm not willing to, spend you guys' lives, the lives of other people to do this.
Swear it on your good eye that you will take it down with you if you have to go.
Morgan will flip up his eye patch and show that his right eye now works, since he's been harnessing shadow magic, and say, he'll point to it and say, I swear.
Help you, and we'll keep quiet about it from here on out.
I guarantee you the Dune Lords will not expect this.
I am not worried about the Dune Lords. I'm worried about others.
I don't think anyone thinks we're crazy enough to do this.
You are going in and you're disrupting the status quo. No one in power likes that.
Yeah, but could I be any worse than them? Like, historically, people with power have done bad things.
Probably because they've slighted you.
I mean, I won't admit it will be a
Morgan,
great
I do
deal
not
of
want to
personal
have to kill
satisfaction.
you.
I don't want you to have to kill me either, Brynjar. We have that in common.
Thankfully, your power doesn't come from gods. What would Lady Amara think of this? Higher.
Lady Amara is saying, "Kill Morgan right now."
Don't commune with her now if that's doable.
I
But
would definitely not commune with her right now. I will look at Morgan and be like, this conversation makes me really uncomfortable. I don't know if Amara would like this.
to be fair, this is self-sacrifice. If it goes wrong,
Yeah.
I think Amara would smile on something like that.
She is compassion.
Yeah.
She would show compassion for what you were doing. She might not agree with it, but she might not understand it completely, but she'd feel compassion for you being invested so strongly in what you believe.
So she probably isn't going to come help you do that.
No,
But-
she wouldn't come help you do it, but she wouldn't stop you. She wouldn't smite you while you were doing it.
She wouldn't smite you?
I don't think she would smite him.
Oh, that's one less person on the board. That's good.
Listen, I know what Amara thinks. All right, that's pretty obvious. I'm asking you, Pyre. You have your own freedom to live your own life how you see fit. Now, I know you've dedicated that life to help other people.
And I enjoy that.
I mean, I'm no saint, all right, but I'm not a villain either.
I know.
I've done a lot to help other people, and I've learned a lot and grown a lot on this journey.
Would you take that power in order to save the world 500 years from now?
I live on the world, so yeah, probably.
I'm talking to Pyre.
I don't think I can make that decision.
Should you make that sacrifice?
would be extremely difficult, and I don't think I could do it.
Do you think it's wrong?
I don't think it's wrong. I just know that my calling is not that. My calling is to help in the present.
That's fair.
You know, we don't even-
You are saving a world that doesn't exist.
Do we know much about the nature of this power?
Pretty vague, honestly. We know it's a power that the Dark God gave to Chorus II, who already had a lot of power to begin with.
So it's an evil power that's going to fight you on it.
Probably. I'm kind of honestly, this is a bit of a gamble. I'm counting on the Dune Lords having figured that out already. If we can kill some of them and make them talk, I'm curious how they would. I would use their souls and I would make them tell me how they plan to control it.
About you, Johan.
Yeah, buddy. I
Throughout
know.
this whole conversation, Johan has been very quiet. And he looks kind of at Morgan. Probably a little bit in a way you probably haven't really seen before. And he tells them, Morgan, he says, "You must decide what is best, of course." And he leaves it at that.
I don't want to do this without your blessing. You've known me longer than anyone else here. If you think I'm completely off the reservation and I need to stop and I need to rethink everything, let me know.
Of course. And let's see. And Johan will look at Morgan, and he actually takes out his sword and he runs it through him.
All right, and that is a good place for us to pick up next week,
Oh shit!
as it is already 9:38, and it looks like some spiciness is going down.
Sorry to throw the mother of all curveballs out there, but
Oh,
I've been
no,
thinking
no.
about this
This
for a
is-
while.
Believe me, this is good. This is good. Can George? Can I go ahead and say? Can I say?
Oh
what
yeah,
it
yeah,
was?
yeah, totally.
Okay. The voice he heard in his head was "Stop him or she dies."
Yeah, I kind of figured that'd be another obstacle we'd have to deal with at some
Yeah.
point.
So, because I was thinking that same thing, because I was thinking, oh wait, there was something that I'm supposed to do a favor for my guy, and I figured, oh, this is totally going to be it. And I was like, okay, here we go.
All right.
I was really counting on us dealing with this further down the road, but
Oh.
I did think about that.
Well, we do what we gotta
Yeah.
do. We do what we gotta do.
No, I kind of figured the King in Yellow was gonna just like, no way, man, this is not gonna be a thing. So I'm thinking, okay, I was gonna think of like maybe I have to sue on this, but no, George is like, nope, you go after him now, man. He's like, okay, all right, so we're doing this.
All right,
All right.
We will pick up there as Morgan savagely attempts to attack,
Well, the other way around.
or
Other way
yeah,
around.
as
Other way
Johan
around.
savagely attempts to attack
Johan
Morgan.
basically just
Yeah.
Johan basically just summoned his sword and just thrust it in his chest, like without hesitation.
Get
So
stabbed, idiot.
You know
Yeah,
what?
Morgan's just dead. Next week we don't have to worry about any of this. Just
You know what? We'll
Just move on.
We'll go ahead and do the attack now. So we're not.
Oh,
So we're
goody.
not
Okay.
waiting a week.
So
for
we're
it.
just so we're balls deep in the fight. Like there's no
all
there's
right,
no half
let's see.
measure.
I'm willing to say Morgan is completely trusting and having faith in his friend. He is not in any way prepared for this attack.
I am going to give Johan advantage on the attack.
Oh,
Advantage due to friendship, but in the wrong way.
in the wrong way. Yes. Okay.
He's not expecting it.
Yeah, he's known Johan longer than anyone else here.
Wildigle's
Yeah,
fighting
he has.
with friends.
There's the last
That's the
two.
thing.
They're the last
So
two.
here we go.
One's
There
going.
There can only be one.
Yeah, Will Diggles is like,
we
oh,
go.
I'm so glad I made new friends. Oh,
Natural 20.
Shit.
All right. So, yeah,
Some heat is
go-
going on that.
go ahead and do the damage, and then decide if you want to pump Eldritch Smite into it.
Oh, he's. Oh, I probably you did probably his patron well. I'm sorry, Morgan. Okay, so let's do the damage on this. Okay, so that's
That's 10.
11. That's
That-
10.
That's
excuse me.
10.
He will. Okay, that's 10. And
Marked
then
off.
he is going to pump in a. Ooh, do I want to? You know what? His patron wouldn't be. He would be mad at him if he didn't do this. He's going to pump in a. He's going to pump in a divine smite at 3rd level.
All right.
So
You get to roll that
Okay.
twice.
48, I
Actually,
think.
let
no,
me
3 times.
do that real quick.
3 times actually. No, 6 times, because
Wait.
technically, because it goes up by 1d8 each time, right?
Well,
Does it twice.
you get
Okay,
one.
do it.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, so it's a 13, the 4, and a 14. So ignore that 5. Ignore that 5. And then he's got to put in, since it's a 3rd level, then it's got to be what? Another 2d8?
Yeah, another TD at 48.
No, it's got to be till 48, right? Because it's because
Well,
it's a crit.
it's a 48, and then it's twice, so that's 8d8 in total.
So you've
So
already
it's
rolled
Oh.
2, 4, 6.
One more.
So one more.
Right, I think
Oh,
the
one
confusion
more,
is a level
okay.
1 smite gets you 2d8, but a level 2
Oh, and
gets
that's
you
another
3,
2.
and then 4,
That-
and then 5. So it only
Yeah.
goes up by 1
So,
after the first
so
one.
Yeah.
total, that's 10 plus 13, 23, 37 plus 7 is 44 points of damage.
I
Okay.
would like to uncanny
Okay.
dodge.
Well,
Okay.
if you surprise, you don't have your reaction.
Is that a... Yeah, I guess, is that a reaction? Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it makes sense that Morgan would just take that on the chin.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's just a one
Reaction, yeah.
attack, right? Okay.
Well, that's on the one attack, and then afterward we'll probably start next session by going into initiative. So
Sounds good.
Okay,
so
all
that
right.
everybody has a chance to react to what the
Okay.
hell's going on.
So
They're
what was
like,
the total
what
damage?
the
I'm sorry?
hell? What the hell? Yeah. So,
All right. Very good. So
Okay.
we will
10.
pick up next week with a little bit of pathos,
Yeah.
and we will figure out what happens out if there's going to be blood on the dunes or what's going on.
Mhm.
I had some temporary hit points. That's okay. That was a spicy little finisher there.
Yeah. All right.
All right. And with that, thanks everybody for playing. Hope you guys had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And we
I
will-
had
I hope Johan's got friends.
Well, he's got.
If your
he's-
pyre
he's
might
got-
also might want to stop Morgan.
That's a good question, I guess.
We'll see how
I'll,
it goes.
you know what? Pyre.
Oh, Pyre's stepped away. Kelsey! Sorry, she's coming. Just a second. You're being required.
Yes.
Give me a religion check.
Oh God.
With an 8, it's hard to read exactly what Amara makes of this sort of situation. You know from the amount that you've studied that Amara would probably look on this as Morgan talking like a despot. But at the same time, maybe it's just because you're friends with both of these people, and it's making it hard to understand.
Unsure. You might need guidance from a priest.
You're gonna have to check the magic 8 ball again later on.
She could also commune with her god if she takes that spell.
You
I
could.
do have now.
Also, in between now and next week, go ahead and level up to 15.
Yeah.
Just in time for my untimely death.
You're not
Okay, yeah.
going to get the benefits of it until you get your full, until you get a long rest. But go ahead and level up to 15 so you can be ready for it.
Wait a second,
Hmm.
Mr. DM. I just realized like, when you said about 8, it should be 8d8. So I was rolling 2d8 at each one of those, right? Oh,
That's
oh,
why
no,
we
never
had
mind.
Eight
you.
total.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah,
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 you did.
got it. Never mind.
Yeah, there you go.
Got it.
The math
Because
checks
each
out.
one of these were 2d. These okay. The math checks out because each one was okay. Yep.
Yeah, that's why we told you to roll it one more time.
+7.
I got a question,
Yep,
George.
got it.
Yeah.
Because there's the level 14 version from the old player's handbook, the ability
We-
that rogues get, and the level 14 version. Of
We are
the
not
new players.
using the only person who had the okay to use the new stuff was Brynjar, just because we wanted to test it out with
With his
with the
ranger side.
ranger.
Yeah.
With the ranger. So you will still be, everybody will be leveling up from the original PHB, except for Brynjar. If Brynjar decides he wants to take another level of ranger, then that'll
Hey,
be
if
for
Morgan
the,
dies, there's a Vorsimian artifact on the table for whoever's alive.
Mhm. But we can't. But we obviously can't level up on for this thing
Like
right
this.
now because we have to resolve this thing. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, go ahead and level up, but don't reset your hit points. You haven't had a rest. You've had whatever you gained back from
yeah.
your short rest earlier, but
Oh, yeah, I see
you
what
won't
you
gain the benefits
Right.
of the long rest or of the level up until
Level up,
you've
yeah.
had a long rest. Yeah.
There is one cool thing though
Got
that
it.
happens when I level up. There's one cool thing. You guys want to know what it is?
What's up?
Double tart.
Oh my goodness.
Double tart. Both sides.
Everything
And
does
the-
AOE damage now.
There you go. Good.
Literally everything
Good.
does
And you can
10d8 AOE damage for 60 feet every turn.
And it's now good. I should use the ballistas now. I like it.
All right, so go ahead and level up. If you have any questions this week, let me know. Marbaka, Will Diggles has already cleared his permanent at-will spell for me. Those of you who chose to take a feat, think about what feat you want to take this week and, ow, how badly it breaks your character. Ow, my cat is...
For those of you who want to murder your longest, closest friend, please be thinking about how you're going to do
Friend,
that for next
yeah.
week.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you. It's definitely one of those.
My
And
cat
it
just
can-
totally cut up my back.
Mhm.
That's how Morgan feels
Oh,
right
you
now.
okay?
Your
Stabbed in the
father is
back
still
by
on
his
the
friend.
call. You said you'd hang up.
All right, we will pick this up next week.
All right.
All
See
right,
you
I
later.
just
All right.
Take care, everyone.
the
what were you saying?
leveler thing.
Yeah.
It tells me what my hit points should be when I add the average. It should be 115 when I add the new average.
Oh, it does? Okay. Yeah, you can change that then.
All right. Good night, George.
Good night. I put that box on there for your max HP.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I typed it in, but I must have deleted it at some point.
Yeah, I think probably so. All right, just make a note of it somewhere else too, just in case.
It's in my little notepad now.
There you
My
go.
note.
All right then. If you have any other questions this week, just hit me up.
Yep. See
All right. Yep. Goodbye.
Later.
Later.